Success Formula with me, Lucy Parsons. Welcome to today's show. Today we're talking about new sixth formers starting in year 12 and how to start the sixth form in the right way. But before we dive into that, I just wanted to tell you that on the 4th of September, I'm holding a webinar to mark the beginning of the school year. The webinar's called How to Reach Your Academic Potential with Less Stress and More Success. It's on Saturday the 4th of September at 10:30 a.m. When you come along to the webinar, you will discover my step-by-step system that has helped hundreds of students reach their academic potential, including me, and frequently exceed their expectations. You'll be able to assess the areas you need to develop in this system so you go away with a clear path forward. And we'll do a deep dive on 3 crucial areas, which are motivation, mindset and revision planning, so that you can up your game, or your child can up their game in those 3 crucial areas. So the webinar is best watched with a parent and child there together, because it means that you're both learning the same stuff and you'll be singing from the same hymn sheet when you leave the webinar. I'd really love to see you there. It's free to sign up and it's going to be really valuable for you, setting a productive and happy strategy going through the school year. If you'd like to sign up, you need to go to my website, lifemoreextraordinary.com/sept21. So that's SEPT, short for September 21. lifemoreextraordinary.com/sept21. And I really look forward to seeing you there. Okay, let's get on with today's show, which is called 3 Top Tips for New Year 12s to Start the Sixth Form Right. The step up from GCSE to A-level study is a tricky one, and something that's underestimated by students and their parents alike. This means that every year we see students coming to us in the latter part of year 12, over the summer holiday at the end of year 12 and the beginning of year 13, who have got themselves into a bit of a pickle with their A-level studies and need help straightening it out before it's too late. But wouldn't it be great if they didn't get themselves into a pickle in the first place? This episode is designed to help New Year 12s start the sixth form right, so that they don't find themselves in a tricky situation later in their A-level courses. So keep listening to get some tips to help them make a success of their A-levels right from the beginning. So my first tip is to revise from the beginning. Now you may be thinking to yourself, I'm never going to get my son or daughter to revise straight from the beginning of their A-levels. You know, they've had enough of revision, having just finished their GCSEs. And I totally understand this thinking, and also the idea that A-level exams are a long way away. It's actually only 21 months until they're all over. However, you're making your life more difficult in the long run if you don't revise from the beginning. So revising from the beginning is really about building a strong foundation. The very beginning of most A-level courses usually consists of, firstly, a whistle-stop tour of the GCSE content. This is to make sure students are up to speed, but if they're not already up to speed with the GCSE content, this whistle-stop tour can be way too fast to really make a difference. This is what happens in A-level chemistry, and if you've listened to my interview with Kirti Permasa, who's an A-level chemistry tutor, she explained about this in that episode, and I've put a link to that episode in today's podcast show notes. It's also why most sixth forms require you to have at least a grade 6 and often a grade 7 at GCSE in the subjects you take at A-level. The other thing that the beginning of A-level courses often consist of is foundational content. This is knowledge and understanding that the rest of the course is built upon. A-level biology is a good example where they nearly always start with cell biology, so the cells of plants and animals. And you simply can't access the rest of the course properly if you don't have a thorough understanding of this foundational content. Because basically, like in biology, you need to know how cells operate to be able to understand all other aspects of biology. It's foundational. Of course, at the beginning of your course, your revision is going to look very different to what it will look like at the end. At this stage, you or your child will be wanting to spend time after every lesson to make sure you've done or you're doing, or you're really understanding the key concepts that are being taught. You've assimilated all new subject-specific words into your vocabulary so that you can use them fluently in the future. And you can talk about your new knowledge and understanding with confidence. You can't afford to wait long to do this consolidation work. This is because A-level courses move a lot faster and have a lot more content than your GCSE courses. Check out my post about mini study habits to help you with the revision and consolidation work from day one of your A-level courses. And I'll put a link to that from today's show notes. Okay, the second tip for starting the sixth form right is using freeze wisely. Starting the sixth form comes with a sudden surge in the amount of freedom you have. This is seen particularly in the number of free periods you have each week. But, as Spider-Man says, with great power comes great responsibility. My son loved Spider-Man when he was little. Basically, you need to use the freedom you have in a responsible way. You're not given freeze to fritter away chatting with your mates in the common room. Instead, the frees are designed to give you the time you need to do the quantity of independent work required of you in the sixth form. If you don't use your frees wisely, you'll end up very stressed because you're so behind, with much lower grades than you could have got, or both of those things. So both stressed because you're behind and getting lower grades than you should. So, before the sixth form starts, make a promise to yourself, or talk to your child about this and get them to make a promise, about how you're going to make wise use of your frees and stick to that promise. Okay, my third tip about how to start the sixth form right is to do the things no one tells you to do. It's a bit naughty really, but quite a lot of assumptions are made about what sixth formers will do to support their studies outside lesson time. But often these things aren't made clear to the students themselves. We've already talked about revising from day one. All your teachers will be expecting you to do this, even if they never actually tell you to do it. They expect you to do it on top of the homework that is set. Other things that are expected and not said include reading around your subject, asking for help when you need it, looking for alternative teaching resources to help you understand things you're struggling with, such as different textbooks, YouTube videos, or anything else you can find, and starting to think about your future beyond the sixth form. School will start talking about this towards the end of year 12, but if you leave it until then, the whole UCAS research and application process will feel rushed and stressful. So in essence, to start the sixth form right, you need to be mature and responsible. Right from the beginning of the sixth form, teachers are expecting you to be mature and responsible about your studies. They really expect you to take ownership of what you're learning and make an attempt to problem solve any issues you face with your learning on your own. However, if your studies are taking up an unreasonable amount of time and you can barely keep up, or your teachers aren't catering for your learning differences, then you need to speak up, ask for help, and ask for a different approach. Start the sixth form right. This blog or episode gives you 3 key things you should bear in mind as you start the sixth form. However, if you want to take a systematic approach to starting the sixth form, you should do the Start the Sixth Form Right Masterclass in the Extraordinaries Club. It's a helpful, practical and optimistic look at how to get yourself into the swing of sixth form studies quickly so that you don't find yourself floundering months down the road when it's hard to catch up. It even includes a guide to what you should do in the week before you start the sixth form and the first 3 weeks of the sixth form to make sure you properly hit the ground running and you don't make any of the fundamental mistakes that I see too many Year 12 students making. One student who's done the Start the Sixth Form Right Masterclass over the summer wrote to me to say, "Your videos have just made me so excited for sixth form and I can't wait to get started. Thank you very much for making the Extraordinaries Club." And that made me feel a little bit tearful. I'm very happy when I got that because, it's lovely hearing that about your work. To support new sixth formers, we are also having a live Q&A for club members who are starting the sixth form this year with our resident coach Zoe Holland, who was a recent head of sixth form. While you're a member, you can also watch the What to Expect in Year 12 video and the How to Revise masterclasses for your A-level subjects so that you're using a productive and efficient approach to your studies from the first half term. And if you'd like to access all those resources, you just need to join the Extraordinaries Club. And to do that, visit theextraordinariesclub.com. So I really hope you found today's episode useful and inspiring. If you're interested in all matters to do with beginning the sixth form and starting in a successful way, I've got quite a lot of other blogs and podcasts that will help you. And I've listed them at the bottom of today's show notes. And you'll find today's show notes in your podcast app with this episode, or if you go to lifemoreextraordinary.com, start the sixth form right. And that's all one word, start the sixth form right. So it's lifemoreextraordinary.com, start the sixth form right. And you'll find things there such as what it takes to succeed in Year 12 and what Spider-Man has to do with it. I don't usually talk this much about Spider-Man. Successfully stepping up to the sixth form with Martin Griffin, who is the author of the book, the co-author of the book, The A-Level Mindset. And there's another one called Year 12 Exams, the Challenges and Opportunities. And then there's quite a lot about different A-level subjects as well. So take a look at those and have a listen so that you understand some of the challenges, but also some of the ways to beat those challenges and make sure your time or your child's time in the sixth form is successful. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day and goodbye.